So at fullback, currently I have Ryan Pappenhausen and Kalen Ponga, and I may as well include Clint Gutherson as my flex position. So I've gone to three-gun fullback. I initially did have Isaiah Yongi, but when Clint Gutherson had that mega BE about 3 weeks ago, that's when I jumped off Iongi and went for the three-gun fullback, and obviously that's looking good for me at the moment. It's gone to like 200k. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with my fullbacks. Andy, who you currently got at fullback?
I actually have the same setup as you. So I started the season with Kalen Ponga, Tom Travojevic, and Iongi. I rode the wave of Iongi for a little while. I traded Gutherson in when he versed Melbourne a few weeks ago now. That being said, he scored like a 50, but Tom for that round, I'm pretty sure that was around he was injured. And then just last week, I got Pappenhausen in as well. So that's my three fullback setup. Also going with like heavy on the fullback rotation, just purely because they just look like that is the position this year that's making the most points.
Yep, definitely. And especially like Pappenhausen getting the conversions back, and Clint Gutherson obviously heavily centered in attack. I think obviously it's a no-brainer. And then obviously Ponga's a top three fullback, even though he's been underperforming. But yeah, good call, Andy. Jakey, what about you, brother?
Yeah, so I was pretty similar to Andy, starting with the exact same three fullbacks of Turbo, Ponga, and Iongi. I still have Ponga and Iongi because, obviously everyone is following that same suit of the three-gun fullback. I have traded out Turbo to JC, though. He hasn't done super for me since I've brought him in, but yeah, I'm actually umming whether he's the man I want to keep. But I think I was discussing with you, Ryan, even going off last week, the Titans had a poor performance against the Finns and pretty much had a pretty heavy loss, and he still managed 52 points. So in that halfback position again, it makes me definitely want to hold him, I think. So yeah, bit of thoughts this week, but yeah, they're my three.
Yeah. Sweet. Adam, what about you, mate?
Yeah, so my three fullbacks at the moment, I have Clint Gutherson as well. Just thought the role was too good, you know. I have two other fullbacks whose role hasn't been quite as good, which has been a bit frustrating. And the good thing about Gutho is he's got Elias and Flanagan in the halves, and they just shovel it out back to him. You know, Gutho's sweeping left, he's sweeping right. He gets the ball every time, good service, and they just let him cook, you know. Yeah, the Dragons might not be great, but he's going to get so many opportunities that it doesn't always matter. And I was lucky enough to captain him last week, which I was really happy about. So that got me, a bit of a leg up last week, 130 for Gutho. Would have been 150 if Sloan put the ball down, but we won't complain about that. My other two fullbacks at the moment are James Tedesco. I got him from Turbo. So when Turbo had that hamstring tightness, I jumped ship straight away because I get nervous about hamstring injuries in players. And so I went to Teddy, just liked his matchups. He had the Warriors, he had the Titans, and then the Bunnies. And I really liked his role in that Penrith game in round two. He scored 120, similar to Gutho. He's getting the ball both sides. You know, he's the dominant attacking option in that Roosters team. Or so I thought. The last few weeks, it's been a little bit frustrating. I haven't been giving him too much ball. But he's been doing really well. The tackle busts are there, like players falling off him left and right. He looks like, you know, the Teddy of old. So he's been really good for me and probably a hold for a while, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Couple of tough matchups. Broncos this week, Penrith in 2 weeks. But if he doesn't play Origin, they cover all the buys. So
huge.
He might be back in the Origin frame. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm happy with Teddy there. He's a bit expensive, but he'll do a job. My last fullback is Walsh, and that's been a bit of a disaster. So I actually started three-gun fullbacks. I started with Walsh over Iongi. Only cost me an extra 520k. And Iongi has scored more points up to now, which is, you know, not good. Thought Broncos would be dominant in attack. They've been good. It just didn't factor in Ben Hunt taking a lot of that attack, you know. So Walsh, he has dropped about 140k. He's averaging a bit under 60. Tough call this week on what to do with him, but that's where I'm sitting at fullback at the moment.
Yeah. We'll save your trades for later. But yeah, he's definitely a frustrating player to watch in the first couple of rounds, and obviously it was quite evident when his confidence was definitely at its lowest point. But I think he's on the research, but we'll talk about that later on.